We are at the new warehouse in Lexington, Kentucky. I've actually got all the tanks plumbed, a bunch of brine shrimp. Now we just need all pumps and all that kind of stuff. So, hey everybody, Cory from Aquariumcoop. Today is a new day. We are at the new warehouse that we're currently building in Lexington, Kentucky. This is the end of day one basically for me. And my job is to get all the systems plumbed and working and the racks put where they're gonna go and make sure we're managing flow correctly for employees and everything. Got kind of stuff laid out, tons and tons of parts. You can see here there's, 2, 4, 6, 8 pumps. I think we're gonna use actually 12. Lots and lots of plumbing parts in those boxes. And then, we spent most of the day unpacking aquariums and it took several people. And so, yeah, you got Randy in the background there. He's putting up, that's where the plants will go when we pack them. So they're going to those bins. And yeah, tanks came in looking good. They were all wrapped. We had to put bulkheads in. We had to put, yoga mat down. We've got more tanks over here and on the other side of the building. This place is of usable space, like 4X our current warehouse. So, a lot of room to grow, a lot of inventory to come in still. So if you're looking at this going, hey, it looks pretty sparse. Like, yeah, like here's some pallets of lights, for instance. I don't have my normal filming setup. I wasn't necessarily planning on filming. But you can see like just of boxes for the tanks. We had to palletize them because there's so many boxes. It all gets recycled and everything. Got some of the packing stations set up. We're waiting on more, but you can see here kind of the conveyor belt line where these are the new picking carts. We will be able to pick 12 orders at a time. So if you order, we'll build your order in one of those totes. Yeah, just lots of products slowly start showing up. Got some Extreme in here, got some Fritz, got some of our products we have made. And you can kind of see just some of the vastness, these big raceways for forklifts now. Our old warehouse couldn't drive a forklift. Well, you could, but wasn't enough space, and we didn't have dock doors, so we fixed all that. You can see back here a bunch of brine shrimp in all of our new commercial freezers. Instead of a walk-in this time, we went with commercial freezers. It was kind of a similar price. So, and I think these can move with us easier. So all our brine shrimp usually comes in those, and then we hand stack them and everything into all these freezers. Take you a little tour of these guys. So yeah, just floor to ceiling and all the way back, brine shrimp. We wouldn't pick from here. We actually have another freezer midway in one of the pick aisles. So this is all like back storage. So like the box liners, right? Each one of those boxes holds 150 box liners. Those still get pulled when people are picking and packing actual items you guys would buy. So we've got incoming kind of storage. Way in the back there is where all the dock doors are. For actual incoming, like we have a container arriving tomorrow with lots of stuff. Then in pallet land here, waiting on more pallet racking. But here in pallet land, we'll pick your items in those carts, 12 orders at a time. Whether you're getting some Extreme food, right? So kind of all the Extreme stuff. And yeah. Then it goes on a conveyor belt and we ship it out. Makes it sound really easy, but a lot of work goes in, plumbing in. I think right now 130 some tanks for that part. And there's still just lots of things to optimize and build, and got to do the drainage system over there. I got to do the fill system. I got to do the fertilization system. We got to hang the lights and we got to plug them in and we got to do all of that. So here's heat packs right here. Everything's barcoded, everything gets scanned. It's quiet because nobody here but Randy and I. So yeah, end of day one. Not too late yet, but I've got a few more days to do work here. So Yeah, different systems. Blue and green and all the stuff we've learned over the years. It's nice to have more space. We were really getting crunched on space. All our packing stations with tape machines and all that for our custom tape. Different garbage for every station. Soft chewy bars to hand to the delivery drivers and stuff. Just as a hey, thank you. Yeah, there's more incoming that hasn't, it's back storage. You can see here, 2 dock doors, so semi trucks can back up right to this. We've also got a floor level door on the other side. We plug in our brand new forklift back here. Yeah, so life savings kind of got into this. It's the next phase of Aquarium Co-op. I'm here for the next, I think I'm here for like another 4 or 5 days to keep working and building plant systems, and any challenges we run to that. We've already been finding some challenges, but yeah. I think we're gonna find some food, and I've got to order more supplies. So yeah, probably not crazy exciting for a lot of you, but it's a document milestone for us. What do we have over here? Lots of bulkheads. This is all getting prepped to go out for people to pick and pack and all that. Yeah, so even though we have someone in the US make bulkheads, they won't put them in packages and they won't barcode them, so we have to do it. So, some stuff still requires assembly by us, just to make sure you always get the right bulkhead, the right size, because if someone picks from the wrong one, you get the wrong one, we gotta reship. So, yeah. Feels huge though when you look through. Pretty soon once it's filled, you won't be able to see from one side to the other. But, and we've got offices and all that kind of stuff too. Just haven't really shown that in a conference room and all that. So I think in total, it's like 35,000 square feet. Lots more to come. All right, we'll chime in with like day 2 when I get done. Day 2, receiving a cargo container filled with product, sponge filters, a couple new products, I think, or at least new boxes, new product. Starting to fill up some of the racks. You can see there. Got more incoming from over there. That's all sponge filters. And still unloading at the docks. So yeah, still got more to come before this place is ready to rock and roll. But by the time you guys see this, we'll already be doing it. So yeah, kind of cool to see. Starting to fill in. It was looking a little light before, as yesterday. Here's one of the new items, the new coffee mugs. They'll probably be out by the time you see this, I would guess. Freeze-dried brine shrimp down there. Small sponge filters here. Pipettes, gang valves. Yeah, salt. This is all brine shrimp salt here, all these pallets. Bio rings. Yeah. Pretty cool to see. These are probably bags, like shopping bags. That's my guess. Yeah, still haven't done that from yesterday. Yeah, you can see this is like the small pallets of like Fritz stuff comparative to what we bring in. We gotta order in much bigger quantities when we have it made, as opposed to getting it fulfilled by someone like Fritz or another place. So yeah, I'm waiting for a plumber to finish up putting in a spigot right where I was working, and I'm plumbing the tanks today, so my hands kind of getting all the ABS glue on them. So I had a minute. I thought, hey, let's film a minute. We're almost done with the container, then we get to really start cracking on the systems and work on them. Well, I decided to update. Here I am plumbing. I've actually got all the tanks plumbed. You can see down here the drainage. And you can see right here, this got to get into a sump. So I'm working on sumps now. It's Friday of my trip, so it's I landed Tuesday, so it's day 3. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And so yeah, I've got sumps here. And trying to film this way is kind of hard. And I've tied it in right here. So now I gotta tie in the second one, and then I have to do 1, 2, 3 more sumps, and that'll be drainage at least to a bigger sump. Now that doesn't get the water out of the sumps yet or anything like that. Doesn't get water back in the tanks yet. Doesn't handle fertilizer yet. Doesn't handle auto refilling water yet. So there's still lots of systems to kind of work on. But one of the biggest in any fish room or build like this is getting it so that water drains where you want it to go. Because that way when you're working on it, you don't have this water fall on the floor. You at least go, hey, managing the water, leaving is the most important. You can always fill by bucket. You could always fill by hose. But getting the water out can be difficult when you're dealing with 100 aquariums. So yeah, I'll keep working on it, just chiming in, trying to keep, this is what, I think I'm here for a 5-day trip or something like that. And, so what I would get done in a 5-day trip. All right, the first testing of the water recirculation system, totally working. Now we get to build the other 5. Got the PVC up top, refrigerator tubing down low, put in a pump that's variable speed, so we can apply a DC, which means we can apply different amounts of power and change the flow rate. So obviously just sitting on the ground here, have it mounted, no controllers or anything like that. We put a piece of poly filter. You see some of the floating acrylic and stuff. We want to not get that in the pump and get it in there. So yeah, there's Randy doing his thing. Now we just gotta replicate that 5 more times, really. I mean, it sounds easy, but then I gotta turn it off because we're running out of water. All right, well, I forgot to film it all yesterday, I believe. Maybe just a little bit. Today's my birthday, it's Sunday, we're here. And we're putting another full day, but we're working on plumbing still. Got drain lines from the main sumps as an extra overflow for the auto water change system we're gonna put in a little bit later today. Got those put in, all feeding to this extra sump. Right now I'm still working on fill lines. You can see like that line is open. I need to plumb that. I ran out of elbows yesterday is why I didn't. I'm working on that right now, right here. And we'll plumb it to another variable pump. And because there's acrylic shavings and everything around, I'm wrapping them in Aquariumcoop fine filter pads. Waiting on more stock to arrive to use some filter socks and stuff inside the sumps to just catch duckweed and plant leaves and any particles that are gonna be left. But we don't want to damage the pumps, and we don't want to damage, or we don't want to clog up the inlets. So all the lights are hung. You can kind of see that. Both top and bottom. Just did it with zip ties up top, made it easy. And so yeah, today we're really hoping that we basically can get power to everything. All the lights are on, all the, we gotta do a lot of cord management and stuff. Like we've already started with up top with all the lights, so that's good. Now we just need all pumps and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's still a million parts every day. There's a trip or two to Home Depot or Lowe's going, well, what do we need today? And yeah, I gotta hook up the watchdog switch to the aquarium pump, so it'll pump the water up and out of here. Yeah, it's just a lot. As I told Randy a little bit earlier, it's kind of like we built one of those warehouse stores, where it's like in a warehouse, they sell like monster fish and cichlids, and it's just lots of tanks. Yeah, 96 tanks set up, and I landed Tuesday. We didn't start till Wednesday basically, so now it's Sunday, and get it done in about 5 days. I think 5 solid 12, 13-hour days. It's getting it done. So, it wasn't always multiple people, but most of the time I had a helper, whether it was cutting or just handing or learning. It's not the normal week of my life, but this kind of stuff does happen when I have to go build either in my fish room or retail store expansion or here. And, birthdays and holidays and that kind of stuff. When you have a whole team of people, and we've been hiring people and all that kind of stuff for here, you can't just go, well, I'll do it next week. It's got to be, as I say, time is money. So I'll get to celebrate my birthday later this week with my wife and my 2 little doggies, and we'll have a good time. I mean, I did have some Raising Cane's for lunch, which was amazing. Never had it before. And yeah, so enjoying Kentucky, and mostly stop letting my glue dry out. I'm gonna get back to work. Just wanted to update before I forgot a whole 12-hour day again. All right, I didn't chime in yesterday after that update, but here it is today. I fly out in about an hour, and looking pretty good. We got some water on the floor. We had some tanks that are leakers. Whole front row is good though. So that kind of answers the question, like, why don't you guys ship aquariums? Why don't you sell aquariums like these acrylic aquariums? We have another 100 or so right there, more than 100. I have over a 5% defect rate, even though they assured us every single one was water tested. So like this one, there's a seam in the back that's not done, which leaks, right? And this one leaks right here. So even though they're all water tested, imagine if we had shipped this to your house and now it's leaking on your floor or something. And then this one also leaks in the back. We've got them all, you know, we're gonna fix them. We're gonna use acrylic weld and we're gonna fix them, but this one also leaks right here. So yeah, otherwise though, we got auto water change set up. We've got water flowing to all the tanks. Got the CO2 canisters, you know, reactors going. Just need the big old giant thing of CO2 we're gonna get. And yeah, not bad. Swift 5 days. I like it. Got the sump over here to pump the water out. And yeah, all the pumps that we use, they're variable. So we're using 20 watts right now, but we could crank it. So we could have this do a lot of water if we wanted to, but we don't want to add that extra heat to the system and use up more energy. So we just keep it down low. The lowest it'll go, 20. Still had great head height and all that. So yeah, I think you know, we're happy with it. I've got the fans going to kind of work some of this water's drained. The plants start arriving soon. By the time you guys see this, we'll already be shipping out of here. And we've got new employees being trained up in the actual warehouse at the moment. And we'll be bringing on more employees and stuff like that. We had some move with us, so that was cool. And some are still coming, by the way. They stayed on at Everett to help with our old warehouse. Then they'll be coming over here to help, you know, move into Kentucky. So yeah, I mean, it looks sparse right now. We still got a lot of product to move from Washington. You know, don't worry, retail stores stay in and we're leaving product there also. And then we've got a lot of containers coming that have just gotten kind of, you know, there's been a lot of natural disasters and earthquakes and bridges and ports and stuff going on. So yeah, just waiting on stuff to arrive, getting everything kind of put away, finding homes for it. You know, these are the tea bags we ship in. Oh, I didn't even try to do that and it hit the camera. That was like a transition. But you know, we got the pack stations. They're not in their place yet, they're out here, but they'll be over here underneath this mezzanine. And yeah, it's just crazy to have this much room, 4 times the size of the old warehouse. So now we'll be able to store more. We'll be able to bring on more products, you know, both stuff we invent and stuff, not invent, but make, and stuff we don't make. And won't be having to trade all the time. So, you know, like right now, by the time you see this, we'll already be restocked, but you know, those are the lights we have to get us through the week until our container arrives of lights, you know. So there's hundreds of thousands of dollars of lights coming, but we ship these ahead on a truck from Washington to here so that we would be in stock of most things. When we launch, you guys will probably see a week or two of disruption where it's like, oh, you didn't have everything in stock like you do, besides plants still out. And then it'll go back to being even more robust because we'll have more storage room. So, you know, there will be a week or two of, why don't you have this or that product? Well, we own it. It's just not in a warehouse. It's in between warehouses. So yeah, we put in upstairs, up in the mezzanine, put up a big old giant commercial tankless water heater. So we've also got on the way a big system to remove chloramine because Kentucky's got chloramine. Oh, and I tested the water. High hardness, pH is 6.8. And I think it's gonna be good for growing plants. So I'm excited about that. Won't have to use too much crushed coral or anything. And lots of buffer. So yeah, I guess that's wrapping it up. It's been a long week. We're all physically tired, emotionally tired. You know, watching stuff leak when you're working so hard, it's like, what? No. I had 2 things that leaked on me that were my result. I had basically one of these, do it down there, that was on me. And then someone did maybe a bad wrap job, and 3 different people did that, including me, so it could have been me or someone else. But all these connections, to only have 2, I was proud of myself. And it's just a bummer to have the tanks be leakers. And well, we're gonna try repairing them first, which I think will work. If that doesn't, we'll swap them out with other tanks, but that's a lot more invasive. You have to shut the systems down and all of that. So for now, we're just letting the water kind of evaporate out. We don't have any water flowing to them. You know, just a little more water. We'll clean them with alcohol. We'll hit them with the acrylic weld. Waiting on the elbows and stuff to come from the other warehouse to put in here, so we can raise the water level up for our taller plants and everything. And the intake screens. Everything's gotten so expensive. You know, the pipe work and all that's gotten crazy. So, you know, I'm looking at thousands of dollars in elbows and screens, where 10 years ago, 5 years ago, it would be like, oh yeah, it's $500. Now it's thousands. So, all right, well, I'm gonna go interact with the new people and the crew, and just, you know, I'm only here for about an hour. Make sure I say my goodbyes and let them know I'll be back. Randy and the team have been doing a great job here, so I know it's in good hands, even though I'm in Washington. So we'll see you guys later. Do us a favor, place an order, and let me know online in the comments if it got faster for you, because it should. It's one of the main reasons we moved, is to you know, speed it up for most people. About 80% of people will experience packages getting to them even faster. The 20% won't, because they were already living close to Washington, so there will be that little bummer. But if we can help 80%, we'll take that trade every day in business.